What's going on, guys? Jeff Kiesel, Kiesel Guitars. You are here in the new factory, and we are still moving in, getting things set up. We've been here for this week 4, so we still have like a lift here, you know, throwing different things up in the air, doing some different electrical work, and still trying to get the machines all dialed in, exactly where they're going. My dad did a great job laying this place out, but we're still moving stuff around. So anyway, I'm gonna take you guys through a little tour here. You can see we have some of our raw wood over here. When we get our woods in, the first thing we do is we kiln dry all of our woods. So we get them to the right moisture level before we start working with them, which is very important. I think a lot of the smaller builders might not know how to do this, or who knows where they're purchasing their woods, but that's the first thing we do when we get our woods in. We have 2 kilns. There's a kiln over there. It's kind of a mess right now. We were just getting everything all set up so we could start kiln drying things. So that's one of our kilns. The other kiln is over here. And it takes a long time. You know, it takes about 3 to 4 weeks to pull the moisture out slowly, so you avoid cracking and warping. Then once the moisture is pulled out, it all starts with a good neck, right? So we take and we cut our necks into blanks, and we sticker stack them, meaning we stack them in a way to allow air to flow through both sides all around the neck. And then we strap them down and we throw them back in another heat treatment cycle in a kiln for about 3 weeks. What that does is it stress relieves the neck, and it's not to pull any extra moisture out of it because the neck's already dried, but it actually really makes a big difference on stabilizing the neck. So that's what we do before you've even placed an order. So I'm gonna take you through as if you placed an order. So we're gonna head this way. This is where we keep all of our neck blanks, and we're always rebuilding new neck blanks. So we always have a kiln cycle load in. What's up, Scotty? So we have various different choices for neck blanks. What we're gonna do first is, depending on whether it's a set neck, a bolt neck, or a neck through, is gonna determine what length neck blank we actually pull. And then we know we have single piece construction and we have multi-piece. So we go 5 and even 7 piece necks, such as this guy here. This is my favorite setup. So this goes walnut, purple heart, maple, back to walnut, and then the reverse of that on the other side. This is an awesome, very stable, and a great looking neck in my opinion. That's actually standard on the K series, that style neck. And so depending on what neck blank you order, we're gonna pull one off the wall and we're gonna go ahead and run it over here. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put the neck blank in the machine. You can see this guy's getting the back end of a neck machined right now. And so what we call that's the ball ending process. And this is a Haas 4SS super speed machine. These are the most accurate Haas machines around. We have 4 of these, and these machines are accurate within 1/10,000th of an inch. That's like taking your hair, pulling it out, splitting it 4 ways down the middle. That's how accurate it is every single time. The parts are all held down with vacuum pressure. So the beeping is gonna tell Kellen to come over here, shut the machine off, pull the neck out. And so this is actually the 3rd step in machining a neck. So we're a little out of sync here. We didn't prep or anything trying to get ready. I just like to wing things. So first thing we do, this is a multi-scale Vader, 8-string it looks like. And so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take a neck blank and we're gonna machine the top flat. We're gonna machine everything here flat. We're gonna cut the slots for our dual carbon fiber rods, and we're gonna cut the slot for our dual action truss rod. And what we do actually, I need that still, so don't run off with it. So you can see this guy here. So this is basically the first step. It's gonna cut the shape out, it's gonna machine it flat, and it's gonna cut the slots. Now what my guys do is we bond in the carbon fiber rods before we take the back meat off of the neck. This further increases the stability of the neck and makes sure that thing's not gonna move at all. And then that's when we do the ball ending process. So these carbon fiber rods we put in, these are high modulus. And what high modulus is, it's a fancy way of saying high strength. So They go in every single neck, and I'm gonna show you guys here. I mean, I'm doing the best I can to try to break this thing, and it's barely moving at all. So there's 2 of these on either side, and every time I've given factory tours, I've offered $1,000 cash if anybody can break one of these guys with their hands, not using their knee or a bench or something like that. And this guy is in every single guitar and bass neck, whether it's our least expensive or our most expensive. It doesn't matter. We don't build any neck without 2 of these guys. And that goes alongside our truss rods. Kellen, do we have any truss rods here, or are they just all over there?
I'm gonna ask Scott that.
Okay. I want to show you guys our truss rod as well. And then we'll get back over there and I'll show you how we do fretboards. Here we go. There's a truss rod here. So this truss rod goes in every single neck. It's a 2-way truss rod, meaning you can turn it to get back bow and you can turn it to get forward bow. So this thing, again, is one of those tools that further strengthens the neck as well. I mean, I'm cranking on it, it's barely moving. Since we started using this 2-way truss rod, I think it was about, I want to say 2004, 2005, we've had 1 failure from a neck, from actually a truss rod. So that's pretty awesome. And keep in mind, we do about 4,500 to 5,000 necks a year. So that's pretty rad. Sorry, Trey, I'm really making Trey work today. He's keeping tethered to me. The fretboards are all run on another Haas over here. So every fretboard is actually run on this machine, and that's all it does. It does fretboards. And so this guy's doing some diamond inlays. Looks like a rosewood fretboard. It's all done. Look at that timing. Go ahead and relieve that. See if I can get this guy to pop off. Man, that guy's on there good. Come on, baby. All right, there we go. So what we have is we have a locating pin at both ends. These locating pins correspond to the neck. So this guy has not been drilled for side dots yet. So we're gonna grab this tag here. This is for a James Dove. And we're gonna head to this other machine. We're gonna get Kellen to load this. Hey Kellen, why don't you load this guy up. Let's show him how we're doing our side dots. It's not wanting to suck. Oh, the back 2 holes? Okay, got it. You got anything to plug them with? Got some earplugs. So a fancy way we do our plug-in here. We throw some earplugs in there. So this template allows us to drill all of the side dots on every instrument by the CNC. So there's no more by hand anymore. It's pretty rad. And you can see that it's just held down with vacuum. So we flip that lever. We have a stop here. We put the fingerboard all the way to the front. Kellen's gonna get this guy going. You guys are gonna watch this guy get the side dots ran. We started running all of the fretboard side dots on the CNC machine with the move to the new shop. These Haas CNC machines are the same ones the Ferrari Formula One team uses to make their engine components. We have a full-time programmer that's literally just here to keep up with the things that I want to do. So it's pretty rad having that. I don't have to call an outside company. I got my guy here 40 plus hours a week doing some really fun projects with us.
Probably the coolest machine I've ever run in my life.
Oh yeah, these are rad. We also added the dual side dots at the 24th fret. That's something new. We decided to do that when we made the switch over to the Haas CNC machine doing these actual inlays. And just like that, you got perfectly straight side dots, people. Look at that. Thanks, Kellen. So we offer all kinds of different fretboards. We offer bird's eye maple, flame maple, rosewood, ebony. We're doing royal ebony even, black ebony. We have zebra wood. I think that's it. Maybe purple heart. We're also doing purple heart. And we're gonna go ahead and do inlays next. That would be the next step. is doing inlays. We actually do that over there. Let's see if we have any, of course I got no inlays, so we also offer that. These guys are getting ready to get some side dots. So look at this guy. We got some abalone inlays in there. Got the offset K, getting ready to get some side dots. And once those are done, we're gonna put the truss rod system in, and we're gonna go ahead and glue the fretboards onto the neck. And after the fretboards are done, we're gonna go ahead and do some radiusing. So we're gonna actually head back. We can go this way. I'm still getting used to the new shop, 20 plus years in the same place, and a month here, I'm still a little disoriented. So I'm gonna show you guys what we do. We do all of our radiusing in the beginning of the day. So this is a 14-inch radius. That's what's standard on our guitars. So we offer 14, we offer 10, 12, and 20. 20 is really flat. And so what we do is we put fresh sandpaper on this, and we take the neck, and we go back and forth on here to get the radius of the fretboard perfectly flat. Thanks, Michael. We do this before we press the frets in. So something like this has already been radiused. You can see those beautiful abalone block inlays. I mean, it doesn't get any nicer than that. I mean, wow. That is a sexy one. This might come up missing. So anyway, we get them all radiused. We apply whatever finish we're gonna apply to the fretboard. And then we press our frets in old school, one at a time. Sorry to do like the circle thing here. I'm just trying to get you guys going on kind of how it would feel to be this part of the guitar. All right, so here we are. Our frets are all pre-cut. We cut them here in-house. We have our big spools here. And you guys might not know this, but some companies will buy sticks of fret wire. They're straight, and they bend them to the curve of the neck. We don't do that here at Kiesel. What we do is we buy the correct radius fret wire to begin with, whether it's the small, 10-inch, so it's really curved, or the large 20. And then we cut the frets, and then we press them in one at a time into the neck. And by doing this, you avoid the Plek machine. You guys have probably heard about a Plek machine. What a Plek machine is great at, it takes a neck that's not perfectly flat, and it removes material off of each fret individually. That's a really bad thing, guys. You want all the fret material to be on the actual fret. You don't want to start with a crooked neck and removing material on those frets. It really is kind of a quicker and easier way to do fret work. We do it the long and hard way, which we feel is the right way. So after that's done, body sides are going to get glued on. My man Mark over here is actually gluing some body sides on now. What's happening, brother? So Mark's getting everything perfectly straight, cleaning off any excess glue, and clamping the body sides nice and tight. So this process takes a little bit, and Mark's been doing this for a real long time for us. Mark, what have you been here, 10 years?
About 10.
Okay, so these are the guitars he's glued up so far today. And he's got some tops here. He's doing some splicing on some tops. And so typically in a day, we're gluing up about 20 guitars or 20 bodies. Hector's prepping some zebra wood fingerboards here, getting these all ready, keeping the guys stocked up on fingerboard material. Hector also does all of our tops. So what he'll do is he'll come to me with a build, and maybe it's a special top like a Buckeye or an Ebony, or someone wants a upgraded flame like an extra nice master grade flame or master grade quilt. Well, I keep all that in my office. So he'll come to me with the tags, I'll lay it out, he'll take it back here, and he'll make it happen. So we're gonna get back here in a minute once we see what we got going on here with the CNC machines. What's up, brother? So you can check this guy out right here. The back of this guitar is getting ran first. That's what we do, we start with the backs. And so it's ball ending the back of the neck where the neck heel meets this neck through construction. This is one of our 8 strings. Would be our DC series. And again, another one of these Haas machines. All programming done in-house. Neck through construction's really rad. You get a lot of extra sustain. Very solid and connected feel, thanks to the bridge being connected actually to where the nut and strings are. And pickups for that matter. So that's kind of how we made our mark, is doing these neck through instruments. And depending on the model, kind of determines how long each of these actually take to run. It's doing a body cutaway right now. Get that nice and comfortable feel with that tummy cut. You know, I've picked up lots of guitars over the years, and some very beautiful guitars. Finishes are amazing, and the quality is very good. But man, it's a deal breaker for me when they're uncomfortable. And a lot of these other brands, in my opinion, they're just not comfortable for me. Maybe it's because I'm a skinny dude, I don't know. But I pick them up and they just don't vibe with me. So that's a big deal here for me. I want to make sure these guitars are comfortable, ergonomic. You can play them for hours without any kind of issues. So anyway, that guy's getting done there. Let's see what we got on this machine over here. Let's check this one out. Oh wow, look at that. Now that's just money right there. So a really nice Buckeye burl top, Kiesel treated board. You got a Limba body and a Limba and maple neck. And this guy's getting ran over here. This is an Aries, real popular model. It's an Aries multi-scale actually. Looks like an 8-string, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's a 7. So we got an AM7 over here. And again, we just got vacuum holding these guys down. And that's it. So I got these little dog ears off here to locate the body. And that's it. So you got a mahogany body and a walnut top. And Trey will tell you, I mean, very, very comfortable with the bevels. A lot of guys think it's just for looks. And yeah, I mean, it definitely adds that 3-dimensional look. But the rad thing about a bevel is everybody has their own playing position, whether it's very flat and low, very, you know, traditional or classical, if you will. I'm very classical, so the bevel for me puts the arm cutaway in a spot that it normally would not be, adding further comfort. Of course, you got this deep body cut. We actually go so deep with the body cut that we can only go so far on the machine because of the gasketing where it holds it down, and the rest is all done on the bladder sander freehand. We got a bunch of guitars here. What we'll do is we'll actually fly cut the bodies and we'll glue tops on. I'm going to show you guys where we glue the tops on over here. You guys are kind of getting a little more in-depth look than the last time you guys took the tour. We're going to take the little skinny guy entrance. You got this, brother. You got this. All right, dude. We got anything you're getting ready to glue up?
No, dude.
No, you just got that one. Okay. That was the top I gave you this morning?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one's really rad. Check out some of the burl here. This will be a little bit. We put these in for about 2.5 to 4 hours, depending on what body and top wood combination there is. But you can see how big of a piece of burl there is for that little body there. You know, there's a lot of waste. You know, we try to do the best we can, you know, giving back, you know, to the environment here by being more cautious with our cuts and whatnot. My guys are all getting ready to head out to break. We got some of our semi-hollow guitars here, getting the bracing all glued in. We got a couple of the Holdsworths here, getting the set neck construction glued in. We got a Fat Boy too. Those you don't see too often anymore. Those are really rad. Here's some other guitars here with tops glued on them. Oh, look at that. A TL60 I put an order in for. Royal Ebony fretboard. Got some K series. We do a lot of these K series. You can see there's 3 of them in line there. And you know, 7-piece necks, premium tops, everything all picked out by me. So that was our 70th anniversary model. And definitely happy with how those are coming out and the response we've gotten. So what we'll do here is we'll do all the final sanding, you know, around the inside of the horns, and do any kind of sanding off of the ears. So we have those little dog ears off the models that we use to locate. Got some really rad stuff in here. And you know, we're pretty backed up. We're starting to get a little more caught up. Here's a DCM8 lefty. So that's something we do. We don't charge any extra for left-handed models. We're one of the only companies that does that. And you know, we still offer a 10-day return on any custom shop instrument. There are a few options that will exclude that. You know, maybe limited supply woods such as Buckeye. You guys can see why I don't want to offer a return on it. Here's a Vader we're working on, and we got to fill all these holes. Well, a lot of companies, they just take, I like to call it the easy road. Sorry guys, if this is what you do, you know it's easier than what I'm doing here. They'll actually just fill it with resin. And you know, what we do is we take parts of the Buckeye from the same piece, we break it up, and we'll fit it in there, and we'll grind things down, and we'll grind the dust down, and we'll fill it. And you know, it's a tremendous amount of work. You can see this. This is the other side of this one. You can see all the pieces we had to fill in here, and all the glue we had to use. Well, it's the right way of doing it. That's the way we like to do things here. So this is our hand sanding area. And we got about 8 guys in this section here. Let's see what we got going on here. Wow, this is sick. Got a nice walnut top, zebra wood board. Again with the limba. I mean, we've been doing a lot with the limba. There's 2 variants of it, black limba, also called Carina, and white limba. White limba sounds a little more like mahogany, so that's what I like. And black limba sounds a little more like walnut. It's a little harder wood. We do all of our tongue oiled back of the neck finishes here. Another new thing we're starting to offer, let me pull this guy out so I can get to this one. This is new, actually new now. And what this is poplar burl. So a lot of guys were asking for poplar burl, and so I got a bunch of it. So I built a few guitars with it. I loved it. It looks really rad. The thing that's really cool to me about poplar burl is you have these big old burls, and then you have this empty space here. So when you put any kind of stains on there, it really enhances the grain. You'll see all these little waves in there. And it's just a really cool look. It's a way to offer a whole nother look, without really trying to like reinvent the wheel, so to speak. So that's something new for us, is the poplar burl. But you can see all these guitars just waiting. This one's sick. I've taken several pictures of this. But for this guy, Cody Allen, customer of ours, Zero-Cote top, and then the Royal Ebony board. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that fingerboard there. And you guys are seeing these woods, and you know, they're right now they're untreated. So once we actually seal these and put finish on them, the color's gonna pop out and get real vibrant, or it's gonna enhance the grain, one of the two. But these guys are all just waiting for someone to free up to start working on them. Our fret dressing's all done here. The fret wire we use, I showed you guys earlier, it's all Jescar, German-made fret wire, which is the highest quality fret wire there is. It's the most expensive. Again, just trying to really put all the quality components in for you guys. We'll spend on each guitar, man, look at this, Jason Becker here. JB200 Bluey, we put the protection film on, and we crown the frets, and then do the fret work. And the fret work is taking anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes per guitar. That's just the time and effort we put in. Once that's done, it'll go over to our finish department. That's sexy, the antique ash on that one. It'll go over to our finish department, and then it'll actually come back over here once it's painted. These guys are gonna color sand and buff it. And I think some of you guys might not understand what color sanding is. Color sanding's not removing any of the color. What we're actually doing is we're just sanding the clear coat, and then we're buffing it out. So this one looks like it's been buffed about 2 of the steps, but not the last final 2. So we got all of the bumps and scratches out. We just got to high polish this guy. Really sexy looking 8-string. That's one of our orange burst finishes. And we do all kinds of custom finishes. So these guys are not final buffs, so you can see like polishing compounds still on them. But just giving you an idea of what we actually do here. Really rad looking. So the first thing we do in our paint department when our guys come in is we get all of our primers done. And so that's these guys here. They're waiting. Here's a couple of K-series guitars that are in the works. It's still a little wet. I'm not going to touch the body, but let me get all sticky here. Got some flame koa. Keep in mind this is just primed, so we still have to sand it and then put the final clear coat on and then color sand and buff that. And it'll really jump out at you. And if you look inside the pickup cavities on some of these, like this one here, I got my little John Hancock in there. It means I did the finish on it. So that's a denim finish by me. And we got some satins here that are hanging. And these guys either have gotten cooked or are getting ready to get cooked. And what I mean by that is our ovens seal up the finish. It actually dries by UV, by ultraviolet light. So that's what actually hardens it and dries it. Show you guys another one of these K-series. Look at that Buckeye. I mean, Trey, what do you think, man?
I think it's pretty sick.
So yeah, I try to do the best I can when I match up the tops. I'll even cut them at angles, inverse them. Casey's our man here, thinking up some great stuff. We've been working together really well. Just trying to come up and step things up for you guys. So cool. So we have 2 booths. The other place we only had 1 actually. And so we have our mixing room in here. So the mixing room is rad because what it allows our guys to do is go out of their spray booth into the mixing room that is contamination free and then back into their spray booth. And our old shop, we didn't have that. We actually had to have the guys come out of the spray booth, walk across a room like this, which is a prepping room. So you're doing some sanding in and prepping. And the potential for contamination and bringing that back into the booth was there. Our finishes were still amazing at the old place, but we've even stepped it up further by eliminating the possibility of having contamination. And so we do all of our primers and our top coats in that booth, and we do all of our clears in this booth, colors in this booth over here. And you can see like the back wall, how it's got all kinds of color on it. And we actually put a special film around the whole entire booth. You can see the walls are kind of white, or it has like a film on the windows. And so what we do is every 6 weeks, we pull this down and put up another layer of film to really help try to cut contamination down even more. So when we first moved here, the guys were getting used to the lighting, and now they love the lighting. After about 2-3 days, they were coming in saying, man, thank you so much for the new spray booth, the new lighting, new technology, just again, to further step it up for you guys. There's something in the works right there, a white with a purple burst on that. That is sick looking. It's probably something Casey did. I doubt it was for a customer. He comes up with his own stuff now. So, I'm not alone anymore. I'm not here, me, the guy, trying to figure everything out and come up with every custom finish. It's nice to have somebody else involved and, forward thinking like that. So these guys are all waiting for a top coat. So they're prepped. And you'll see like this guy here hasn't been sanded yet. Back's been scuffed a little bit, but the top hasn't been sanded. So they're gonna prep the top. So it's still kind of shiny. They're gonna just add tooth to it. And what I mean by tooth is they're going to just sand it enough so that the clear can stick, kind of like this guy here. So it doesn't look all shiny like the other one because it's been sanded and prepped. And so I have a few carts of guitars that I'm working on. We do all of our prepping for the stains over here. And then, you know, once those guys color sand and buff, the guitars will come down here and we do all of our final assembly. What do we got here? Make sure that tuners are all on. I'm not gonna drop something off of there. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow, that is so sick. That is awesome. Pink Cali, pink diamond inlays. Man, such a sick guitar. DC7X, a guy named Pete Figolti, I think. So that's the tag. These are all the different codes that tell my guys what to do. So yeah, it's a little map of how to build this thing and how to finish it. So we got various guitars up here waiting. Here's one that I finished up this custom finish on, and we're actually out of the Tune-O-Matic bridges. They're coming in a couple of days, but it's a custom fade that I did for a guy. Got a really sexy black limba body on there. I went ahead and did like a little binding effect, like it looks like a natural wood binding even when you look at the top. And then I inversed the headstock, right? So just to further enhance it and give it that rad look. There was a carved top here yesterday that I was freaking out over. It was just amazing. Not that all the guitars aren't amazing, but this one in particular was just really had me going. It was one that I'd like to take home. I'd like to make her mine. Uh-oh, here comes trouble. What's up, guys?
Oh, here comes trouble. What's that, man?
I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is, right here. Hello, beautiful. Where have you been all my life? Look at that. I mean, look at that. What's up, Manny? You can come over here. You heard beautiful, so Manny's creeping around the corner there. But look at that. I mean, seriously. And I mean, that top is so sexy. There's no upgrade on that top. That's just, you know, that's what you'll get, right? You know, something along those lines. And we do other brand pickups too here. So if you want to send in other brand pickups, here's an example. This guy here is fitted with some custom Seymour Duncan pickups and even a custom knob. This is one of our K-Series Buckeye guitars. So if, you know, you like the lithiums, maybe they're not your jam, or even our pickups in general, send in your own pickups, whether it's bare knuckles, Duncan, DiMarzio, we don't discriminate here. So we're more than happy to put them on. I just really wanted to give you guys a stock pickup, in my opinion, that did not need to be swapped out. So that was the whole idea with the lithium. And a lot of you guys really love them. Some of you guys, it's not your jam, and that's okay. These guys are getting ready to get shipped out. And on any one day, we'll ship out, it really depends, but typically, you know, 15 to 25 guitars. So on average, we do 20 guitars a day. And ranging from, you know, quilted Aquaburst carved tops like this guy to, you know, you'll have a Vader multi-scale. I mean, we do a lot of Vader multi-scales, tons of Vader multi-scales, one of our most popular guitars. And then we have our pickup department where we wind our own pickups. And I wanted to clear something up, speaking of Seymour Duncan. I've heard some chatter out there that Seymour Duncan builds all of our pickups. Seymour Duncan doesn't build any of our pickups, just to clear that up. We did start offering Seymour Duncans through us on our multi-scales. And the reason why we decided to start doing that is with our multi-scale design, it all hinges on the angles. And so I teamed up with them, Blue and Derek Duncan over there, and we're gonna start offering some Duncans for you guys because you can't swap multi-scale pickups out, because unless the angle and the plate and everything's just perfect and the planets align, they're not gonna fit. So I decided to offer Duncan because they're great people. They make a great product, but more importantly, they're great people. And I like to work with good people like that. So anyhow, we wind all of our pickups on this machine. It's an old Italian Bacchi machine. And you can check out on the back here, Move that out of the way a little bit, it's just holding the wire. It says Kiesel on there. So all of our pickups have the Kiesel logo on there, the lithiums, and we offer these 6, 7, and 8 string, and depending on what sound we're looking to get determines how much wire. They get wax potted. The only pickups that don't get wax potted are the Allen Holdsworth because he wants them to feed back a little sooner, and wax potting just really controls that. Here's our plates actually. Show you an example of a 7 string plate. So all of the lithiums are mounted on a plate like this. So you got the Kiesel logo, and oh, that's neat. But check this out. So everything has a spot to where it's going to ground and shield the pickup. So as we put the pole pieces in, it touches these metal parts, and the ground wire connects to there. So boom, the whole pickup is totally shielded. And this is all of our unique custom parts. So again, going further, remember guys, we've been building pickups since 1946. That's how Grandpa started this company. And we got all kinds of pickups being made right here. Looks like a bunch of lithium. So we got standard, we have multi-scale, we got all kinds of color combinations. And something that makes the lithiums very unique is the Torx head screw. Now, what that does, believe it or not, is it allows more surface area than, let's say, a flathead, a slot head screw that's got a dome on it, or even a standard Allen head, because it removes so much material. So as your string is moving, when you're playing, it has less drop off. So this is actually something exclusive to us, and it does actually help the tone, helps get the tone we're after. So Addie's prepping the pickups here, and you can see this wire, like that's how fine it is. See that? So she's got to solder the leads on there, get everything ready so that she's going to take that little one and make it look like that. And then wrap it so everything's nice and tight in there. So that is our pickup winding department. And then we have like our small parts packing department. We even offer kits, guitar kits. So these are a couple of kits getting ready to get put together. Not put together, but kind of set together, make sure the neck fits good, get all the parts ready, box everything up. And we even offer custom options, like that dude got a flame maple fingerboard on that one. And we pair the bodies up. We even do custom tops, whatever. So if you're in the market for a kit, we even do that. So it's pretty rad. We have our photo studio, my dad's office, and then we have our purchaser and our production manager's office there. But why don't we go check out the showroom? I'm sure you guys are wanting to check that out. We moved in, we had our showroom packed, full of guitars, no empty hooks, and you guys have been amazing because guess what? I got all kinds of empty hooks. That's rad. It sucks because if you're coming in, you want to check out the showroom, I don't have as many guitars in stock at the moment, but it's pretty rad the support you guys have been showing us. Of course, we got Mr. Holdsworth here to look upon you while you're riffing in the room. So don't disappoint. We have our Vader wall over here, and we have some standard and some multi-scale guitars as well. This is something cool. You guys may have seen this already. It's our raw tone finish. So you can see how porous this actually is, top and back. And what this actually does is it gives you the true tone of the instrument without clogging up the pores with filler, primer, paint, and top coat. And we have a little bit of paint on there, and our thinnest top coat we will ever put on. Just enough to protect the wood from moisture, but these guys you gotta be more careful with. They will dent and ding a lot easier than a traditional finish because it is our raw tone. I came up with this because not everybody wants a tung oil finish. They might want that raw tone, that pure tone of the woods, but they don't want to sacrifice the looks. So now you can get, a solid color finish or even no finish at all, depending on what type of wood there is. And you have this cool look and you have that tone. So we have some semi-hollow, semi-acoustic guitars. We have several of our 550, 575s, the Frank and Bali signature model, the double cutaway. Good old Frank, man. Such a monster player. Carved tops, that's that grape jelly color. Love that color. I'm not a huge purple fan, but I think that one's sick. And then Lefty Love, guys. Look at that single cut. Yeah, I'm partial to single cuts. But this guy with the Royal Ebony fretboard, Royal Ebony headstock. Look at that koa. I mean, this is standard koa, but look at the flames in there. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And a koa and maple neck. So we try to build enough extras when we can, when we're actually allowed to, because you guys have been keeping us so busy. I'm going to trip over here. That we're trying to do the best we can on building enough extras to keep them in stock. I got to show you this Aries. I saw this one the other day, and this is just absolutely stunning. I love this. This is our honey burst finish. Let me just double check. Yeah, deep honey. Look at that back there. Just, nice mahogany neck, mahogany body, flame maple top. Still my favorite go-to custom, wood selection is mahogany body and a flame maple top. I just think it adds just the right balance. And then the long debate to not bevel or to bevel. So the Aries, I just settled it. Said, hey, some of you guys said, I love the model, but I don't want the bevel. Well, check it out. You can get it non-bevel. This is how it comes standard. And you get BVD, bevel delete, no charge option. And what we do is we do a bent top on there. So, or a, drop top in the case of no top. But there is the Aries. And you know what? While I have this guy down, look at that access. You could see some reviews on the Aries on Gear Gods, of course. Some really rad videos. And, some decent playing, I guess, by my man Trey. And here's our DCM series. So this guy is not beveled. And the DCM comes standard without the bevels, and you can add the bevels. So this guy does not have bevels, and this guy does. And this is not a multi-scale, but it's still the same, DC style guitar, but that's what the bevels look like. So if you want that unique look by adding, that third dimension there, give it some depth, it's definitely the way to go. Get a little better access too, get your hand all the way down in there. And then we have our demo rooms too. Got some of our bolt-ons. You got, of course, the Jason Becker models. Love this guy to death, man. He's just such an awesome dude. Inspiration. If you don't know who Jason Becker is and you play guitar, man, check your pulse. Check this dude out. Jason Becker, those are his signature models there. And, Trey, check it. TL70, baby. White with a black limbo body, flame maple fingerboard. See if Trey will take this when he goes. We get that credit card out. Really cool look, when you get the top on there and you actually paint all the way down and get that, just badass top look on there. I love that. Some SCBs, the single cut bevels. And we got some Mesa love. We got some Mesa boogies in here, so you guys roll in. You want to try out our guitars, we got some Mesas for you. I have a few other amp companies sending amps our way, but right now I just have Mesa and I have Axifex. You're obviously welcome to bring your own amp in as well. And if you're in the San Diego area, definitely stop by. We got our man Scott Carstairs from Fallujah. Look at him, he looks pissed. He's looking at you in disgust while you're playing, dude, if you're not ripping your solo. You got Mr. Greg Howe, Neil Zaza, Joe Walsh, Craig Kiesel, Brody Utley, and Derek Song. Look at Brody. Such rad people. Yeah, that's what it's all about. We have a close-knit, family here. Of course, Vader won Best in Show at NAMM. Little rad award there. We got some history here. So some of the older, Kiesel line. So how the company actually started was my grandfather in 1946 had the Kiesel brand, and he was making guitar pickups, lap steel guitars, and tube amps, and that was it. My grandfather was a professional lap steel musician, and started in Gothenburg, Nebraska, then moved to Los Angeles, then back to Gothenburg. And what had happened was Grandpa had signed up, there's Grandpa there, he had signed up dealers to sell the Kiesel products. And what happened was he didn't put any minimums in there. And these dealers were exclusive. And so they weren't pushing the products as well as my grandfather thought they should be. So in 1949, 1950, Grandpa said, hey, you know what? I want out. I want to sell my products myself. And these guys said, no, we're not letting you out. We're going to hold you down and tough, deal with it. So Grandpa said, fine. Changed the name from Kiesel, folded the company to Carvin. First two born kids, Carson and Gavin, combined the names to Carvin. So Grandpa changed the name not because he wanted to, but because he had to. So we operated under the Carvin name all the way till 2015. But another big milestone for the company was in 1970. My uncle calls my dad up, who my dad was a drafting engineer in LA. He's 20 years old, married to my mom, and says, hey, I'm not going to make guitars anymore. We're done. I just don't have the passion for it. The market's not there. We're just going to focus on, amps and audio, start working on PA stuff. My dad says, well, wait a minute. I used to put the guitars together, and, I'm a musician. I've been in several bands, and my dad was, avid guitar player. And he says, well, I think I want to do it. And so my uncle says, okay, you want to do it? No problem. Come down and take over the guitar division. And, when my dad was a young kid, he thought he was going to work for the company. And Grandpa said, hey, this company's not big enough for you. You have to, make your own way. I'm giving the company, to your older brother. And that was kind of what happened back in the day. You gave it to the firstborn. And so at that moment, in 1970, my dad's 20. He was born in 1950. He was running the guitar division. So he got back into the company, vice president of the company, and he ran the guitar division by himself without anybody helping out, no feedback, did everything himself. And then I got hired in 95 and, slowly worked my way back in there helping him out. And so here we are. So 2015 rolled around, February 1st, we made it official. We've been talking about it for about a year and a half, splitting the company in half. So me and my dad can go on our own, do what we love, do what we want, don't have to answer to anybody. Really step the brand and the product up without worrying about spending whatever we wanted. We could spend what we want, right? It's our company. And so that's what we were able to do. So we announced February 1st, 2015, we were our own company. And I wanted to go back to the original logo, the original name, Kiesel, to honor Grandpa. Not because it's my last name, but because that's how we started. And we didn't even change the logo. That is his original logo. So it's pretty rad. So anyway, a little history for you guys. Some of you guys say, hey, why'd you change the name to Kiesel? We didn't change it. We just went back to our roots, really. And so we have basses, of course. We got Brian Bromberg's signature models there. We have our Icon series basses, Accelerator. We got our PB and our Vanquish and JB basses. And again, people come in and they can check out basses in here. The store won't stay open, so it's going to hit you. I got to get someone out here to fix that. Still working out the bugs with the new place, like that door won't prop open, and some of the doors won't open at the right angle, so we got to tweak some of that stuff. But we got Mark Bass, TC Aguilar, and Phil Jones in here right now. The owner from Tech Amp is sending a rig for us as well. So it's really cool. You guys can come in, check out our products, and have a variety of tones. And arguably the best tones in the industry are right in our shop. So what better way to showcase our basses than these amps? So, and same with our guitar amps. I mean, I'm a big Mesa Boogie fan. And, part of the split was pretty rad for me because I got to, work with these companies I've always wanted to work with. So that was really rad. So some of our, our family up here of artists that, get it done for us night after night. And these are just great individuals. And, I've said it countless times, it's about that family environment. It's not about having everybody, it's about having the right people. So let's take a look outside. So what you'll see when you roll up to this place. So we're in Escondido, California. The address is 2015 Aldergrove. Pretty rad, Aldergrove, right? I mean, so many guitars we build are out of alder wood. And, you know, by chance, we happened to buy a building on Aldergrove Avenue. And we actually got a custom address, 2015. That was the year we split. And we're off on our own. So we're going to go all the way out here, Trey. I'm going to make you work, dude. We're going to go all the way. We're going to cross this street. And you got to trust me that there's no cars coming. So this is our building here. It's 2015 Aldergrove. 21,000 feet. See the Kiesel sign at the end over there. We wanted to make that thing gigantic, but you know, the city wants to put the, you know, dig their claws in. That's the biggest we could actually make it. A little bummed out about that. It's black during the day and actually lights up white at night, so it's pretty rad looking. It's got all these little fiber optic lights inside of it to make it glow white. But this is our place. So definitely if you are a guitar player and you have a shot at coming out here, or if you're already out here, come down, you know, come hang out. No one's gonna high pressure you, none of that. It's all real laid back environment. We've got about 50, I think we're about 53 people working for me and my dad. So there's 55 of us total right now. Building, you know, just under 5,000 custom shop instruments per year. And I still gotta get the plaque changed. Gotta have it accurate back to Kiesel. But this is, you know, this was to honor my grandfather. You know, founding the company in 1946. This was one of our most popular models at the time when we had the statue made. This is our AE-185. And I mean, there were days we'd sell 10 of these things in a day. And, you know, really rad guitar. You know, you got the electric and the acoustic. So it actually had 2 output jacks. You didn't have to use both of them, but really rad guitar. So I just wanted to really step it up. So it's a walnut counter with Buckeye burl. And it's about 2 1/4 inches thick of Buckeye. And we left it all natural. So this can actually cut you. You got to be careful. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it is natural and it does have some sharp edges, but it's pretty rad. I don't know how many Buckeye guitar tops I could get out of that. I probably don't want to know. I mean, it's probably a $15,000 countertop, but you know, we work with wood here. We're not building stuff out of stone. So I didn't see the point in doing a granite countertop. And then this is the showroom. But let's take a look. I'm going to show you guys my messy office. Sorry, I'm still settling in. It is kind of a mess. Got the sales department in there. We got roofs open because they're changing out lighting and stuff. There's Brandon. And here's my office. So, dude, it's a disaster right now, my desk. I got a Marshall over there. And just got my workbench. So getting this all set up, butcher block workbench, so when I go to work on some custom projects, I'm not going to do any sanding or anything in here, but laying stuff out, so if I'm working with an artist or whatever. And then here is my wood vault. I have an extra shelf I got to put together that's going to block off this door. So the only way to get in here is through my office. So I'm building the guitar for myself, okay? I know, I'm selfish. And this is our master grade Koa. I mean, I guess it's all right, you know. But anyhow, these are my body sides of the guitar. So I'm not putting a top on it. I'm using these as my body sides. And so when we do master grade Koa, you know, a top is going to cut in about that thick, so we can get 3 tops out of one of these boards, 3 top sets, and we charge $1,500 a top set. So $6,000 body sides. Here's the fretboard for my build. And so what this guitar is, it's a Kiesel edition, KM6, multi-scale 6-string. And this is to basically mark the first guitar produced start to finish in this facility. And what I mean by start to finish, we dried all the woods here. So my neck is in that kiln right now. And so literally start to finish, cut the neck woods, glued it up, treated it, dried it and everything, conditioned it is what I really should have said, and then getting ready to put the guitar together. It's gonna be pretty rad. So some of the woods we have here, I take this as alcohol, and so when I'm going to look for a top or a whatever I'm looking for, neck, watch your head up here too, I got all those flame necks. And this is just what I have here. So this is 5A, 6A, 7A. 7A is master grade, so I got like tight quilt, I got wide quilt, and I have what's called K-top. So this is actually, in my opinion, master grade, but also master grade that I would want to use on my own personal stuff. So I have that set aside. So if I want to do builds for me, family, whatever I can, or even you guys if you want something real crazy. So let's just show you guys kind of what I got. So like here's a 7A master grade. Flip this guy over. Master grade quilt. And this is what I have in for wide. Wide, real pockety. You can see the big pockets in there. You see the chatoyance, how much that changes. It looks like it's not flat. So that's all this is master grade quilt. Then I have, 5A, it's not quite as nice. And then I have tight quilt. So this is same along the same lines, a little bit tighter. So this is all master grade, but you can see how, a little tighter pocketing in there. And so if you guys are wanting something extra special, have it. Let's see here. So I got some crotch burl. You guys are going to laugh, I know crotch. But this is what crotch is when it goes, the grain goes both directions. So the guitar will be laid out like this, and then you'll have, it kind of looks like a sunburst almost. But we call this crotch. This is crotch burl. I have crotch burl, crotch flame, and crotch quilt. And then, I have the master grade koa. When I put my other shelf in here, all the master grade koa is going in there. I got a ton of it. And then I have, different kinds of walnut. I got flamed walnut, which is really cool. It just has flames in it. I have striped walnut. And then I have burled walnut. This stuff isn't sanded, so it's like super rough. It's hard to see the big burls in there, but it's really beautiful stuff. Of course, I got the same thing with the flames over here. I even have a lot of one-piece. So if you want something real special with the one-piece top, this master grade flame, you throw some alcohol in there and you see how nice it really is. I like to use the alcohol just to show kind of the customer what it's going to look like. I already know because you've been doing this so long, you have an idea. And then I got all this poplar burl. Guys showed you guys this outside, out there in the shop. So this poplar burl here. And then we have regular burl. So I'll show you guys kind of side by side what really the difference is. Poplar, you have more open space here, and you have really big burls and voids. Where this, you don't have as much open space and you got smaller clusters. I can even show you another example of some burl here with more of the smaller clusters, and you can really see the difference. So this is burl maple and this is burl poplar. So that's really the difference. And then, of course, we got buckeye burl. Let me grab a piece real quick. If I can get it, it's got stuck. So here's a piece of buckeye burl. I got a ton of this buckeye stuff. There was the big fires here in Northern California that burned most of the buckeye down. We got a shipment of it right before it got all burned down. And I even have some one-piece stuff here. I got this Malay burl over here, bird's eye maple tops, spalt. I got all kinds. I got flame spalt, and one-piece spalt. Then I got non-flame spalt, part flame, burl spalt. I only have 2 pieces of this. But it's all burled and spalted, which is pretty rad. And then I have quilted spalt as well. So we don't just do basic stuff. We have all kinds of craziness. See that quilt in there? Is it showing up on the camera? Okay, cool. And then, we got flamed redwood, bloodwood, ebony, flamed myrtle. Got some pink myrtle, Macassar ebony, cocobolo, ziricote, wenge. I have all kinds of ebony out in the shop, for tops. But anyway, that's kind of it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your little tour.